And on this day in 1863, the Football Association was formed. The connection between football and the pub is nothing new, but the FA itself was actually formed at the Freemasons Tavern in London, and the pub in Covent Garden is still open for business. Here to tell us more is Peter Kenny-Jones, the football historian. Morning.
Hello, good morning, thanks for having me on.
Why in a pub?
Well, I don't know, it's probably quite a long story. Maybe if we start with a man named Ebenezer Morley. He was the founder of a team in London called Barnes Football Club. He was actually born in Yorkshire, but he was also a captain and a player. And whenever they were playing back in the 1860s, there was quite a few arguments over what the rules of the game should actually be. So I think he was probably a bit frustrated with how every time he played it ended up in an argument. So he put out to a local newspaper, which is called Bell's Life, and he basically was asking, saying, can we get a uniformed rule book? And obviously he wasn't alone with this frustration, because 12 other local teams came in and wanted to also say what their opinions were on it. So yeah, on this day, as you very rightly said, in 1863, it was a Monday night. They gathered in the Freemasons Tavern. So it's known as the Freemasons Arms today, and a few pints were probably had, and they agreed upon what the rules of the game should be.
Of course, it's called the Freemasons Arms now, I guess, because then it's also the FA. So they all came together then to sort of standardise rules. What did they actually agree?
Yeah, so as I say, there was 12 clubs, and they're definitely by no means household names. One of them aptly called No Names, but they basically just wanted to agree upon what football should be like. And to be honest, if you watched it, it'd probably be a lot more like rugby. They were allowed to catch the ball.
They were allowed to catch it?
Yeah, you were allowed to catch the ball, yeah. The main disagreement was whether they were allowed to kick each other. That seemed to be what they were allowed to. Yeah, there was no crossbar, so you could score a goal as high up as you wanted. If a player catched the ball, and no one challenged them, they'd be rewarded with a free kick for it. There was offside was only if you were ahead of the ball, so again everything's going backwards. And throw-ins, where whoever got to the ball first, they were allowed to take the throw-in. It wasn't who it went off.
But hang on, Peter. This was them agreeing to standardise those rules, or was this the point at which all of that nonsense went?
No, this is what they wanted. So,
oh gosh, okay.
Over 6 different meetings in 44 days, they came to this and said, instead of corners, you'd pick the ball up and go 15 yards back and basically have a conversion, a goal. So it's very similar to what rugby is today. And it's interesting, as I said there, they had 6 meetings, but they never actually agreed on whether goalkeepers should be in play, whether referees should be there, how long the game should be, how many players. So I don't really know what they agreed upon, other than the fact you're allowed to kick a ball and kick each other.
And when did all of that actually go, what they agreed there?
Yeah, so obviously it's a gradual change. Obviously we see VAR and goal line technology today, and I don't think that was very high on the agenda when they were sat in the pub talking about it. But it's basically, this was only 12 small local teams in London, so whenever they played anyone outside of the Football Association, which was just 12 teams, arguments would continue, and then people would just start drip feeding changes in. But yeah, obviously the growth of the game, the growth of the FA Cup, an English national team, 25 years later, the first ever Football League, second division 5 years later, just more and more people make it more sensible, and that's why we have a game that makes a bit more sense today.
Some might argue there's still work to be done on that front to make it more sensible. Peter, good to talk to you this morning. Peter Kenny-Jones,
thank you.
The football historian, looking back to on this day in 1863 when the FA was formed in a pub.